Hello. I am writing some notes. I'm reading from our group chat. So we are designing our next store. That's the project for tonight. So I'm writing all the sections that we need to include. Um, so and the people who are in charge of each section. Um, uh, what would be your superpower if you have any superpower? I just had this conversation at work today. Um, Mine would be I would love to be able to communicate in whatever language the other person spoke, whether it be whether it be spoken language, written language, sign language. That would be my superpower. I would want to be able to communicate with whatever language. Could you imagine what you could do? Go to the, go to, yeah, go to Egypt. Yeah. Well, I have a friend who speaks 16 different languages fluently. And they're all over the world kind of languages. So it's not just all like all the romantic languages, all the ones that have similar bases. So he speaks like Mandarin, he speaks uh, English and Spanish and French, the romantic languages, but then he has all these others that, but I would just love to be able to speak a whole bunch of languages. Wouldn't it? Yeah. And of course, I have to write in my orange pen, my orange jelly pen. Borrowed, borrowed. Cool. Has Phil joined us yet? Phil, congratulations on your chicken. Yeah, he made his he baked chicken today. Yeah, the lemon lavender, no, rosemary, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, so it is hard to bake a chicken. It's a lot harder than a whole chicken, first of all. And it's hard to roast a chicken, and so it's exactly. Well, that's the thing, I didn't take a look at it too closely, but I was always taught to, you wash the chicken, you pat the chicken dry. I'm looking for a picture now. Um, and then you take lemon slices thinly cut and you put them between the skin and the meat. It does. I'd much rather go buy rotisserie chicken. She said gorge. Yeah, just like you get super protective of your popcorn. Same thing. So here are our sections. So we have the children's book section, which and we're calling this, and well, I'm calling it just because I'm still deciding, but this is going to be called Nick's Store because she has the rights to the store. Okay, what is it again? Rockabilly? See, see, I like that better. Because the problem with Nick's store is you don't want to do the hyphenated Nick's, but then because I think it's cool Nick's with an S rather than apostrophe S, but I like rockabilly books and paper. So she's going to be joining us late. She is doing a letter writing assignment today, which I think is just fantastic from the Japanese American Society. They are writing letters to their elders because a lot of the Japanese elders are uh, have lost access to each other and their families because of COVID. And so this Japanese American organization is going to be collecting these letters, and and it's a group that writing letters to all these people who have lost access because of COVID. So that's where she is right now. She just said she was going to join us late. So that's where she is. It's a online letter writing session. So it's like a Zoom class, and then but they're writing letters to these, some of which of these peoples were part of the internment, the Japanese internment in the Americas. So yeah, so it's a cool organization, and so good for her. I was going to join, but I ended up taking a nap and not waking up in time. I barely made it in time for well, yeah, exactly. It's just the theater. I've been having to get to the theater earlier and earlier because they're finally pouring cement into some of the construction, and so it's just I've been having to get there earlier and earlier, and it just is wearing me down. And the problem is that, well, the whole week started off wrong, because um, I forgot it was Monday. I thought it was Sunday. And so what happened was I fast on Sundays. So I fast all day on Sundays. And so I thought Monday was Sunday. So I fasted all day, not realizing that I had fasted 2 days in a row. So I started the week in a calorie deficit. And then and I was just like, why do I feel so badly? And it was just like, oh, because you haven't eaten, you idiot, for 2 days. Yeah. So, and I just can't catch up, so. Okay. So, one of the things I did want to show you, Tommy H has joined from Tampa. Welcome. So have we said hello to everyone already? Erica has said hello. Got, okay, great. Erica is here. Um, Yeah. Oh, Giddy's here. Oh, so I did want to share with you um, one thing tonight. I'm managing multiple devices here. So um, Lisa's here. Welcome, Lisa. Um, I don't know about you folks. I love graph paper. I use it. Well, when I'm all my moleskins are this gridded or squared. I think they call it squared, but we always call it graph paper. Uh, paper, and I write on it just like regular lined paper. And I'd much rather have this than a lined paper because you can use as many of these lines to make your letters as big or as small as possible. Does that make any sense? Exactly. Exactly. So, and this is Staples. It's three hole punched. Um, so, um, so the nice thing about this is it comes in two sizes. So you get 4 squares per inch, and then you get five. Nan's here. Welcome, Nan. 5 squares per inch, depending on which side of the paper that you use, and that's fairly unique. I think that's a cool idea. So I'm a big fan of the Staples, and it's perforated, so you can easily tear it from the gummed book, and then you can individually tear these sheets as well. Um, but there's another paper that I really like, and that's this engineering paper. So some of you engineers out there who've used this, the thing I like about this is 5 squares per inch, but the front side or the back side, whichever you prefer, is blank. So the nice thing about this particular graph paper is that you can. So I learned this when I was doing stagecraft, and so what you do is you put this in your notebook such that it's a 2 page spread, so you can write all your notes on the right hand side, and then actually do your graphing and your layout on the left hand side. Yeah. Well, that's how I took notes in college. Um, what I did, what I did is I had 2/3 of the page written. I mean, a blank. I would do a line on each of my pages, and then take my notes on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side, I would do like highlights or put a outline a word so that I knew where that definition was on that page. So all those kind of things. So, but I'm a big fan of graph paper, so I just wanted to introduce this to people who may not know of it. Um, and so, uh, Rhonda says that she loves graph paper. Um, oh, and we have some engineers too, so that's true. Yeah, 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 that's right. Yeah, yeah. That was so much fun. And I wanted to thank, I think it was Carrie who posed that question. That was a lot of fun following along. She is, but I think that was a lot of fun, and that's all based upon Raul. See, and I didn't, and I don't mean to sound like I'm making fun of that name because it's not, but that's the correct pronunciation for the spelling. I didn't realize it had an accent over the U, because I was saying Saul. I'm sorry, not Raul. Saul, because I thought it was Saul, Saul, but when she, Yo, Saul. Yeah, exactly. Come here. Come here. But when I saw Saul and I saw her spelling it, then I'm like, okay, he deserves the correct pronunciation of his name. So yeah, so I'm not ridiculing by speaking with an accent there, but it is Saul. Um, yeah. Of course, Bacon. You got to love the accent for Bacon. Yeah, but I'm a little disappointed that you didn't buy your Bacon's little brother or little sister. I mean, not Bacon, Pepito. Oh, was there? Oh no. We'll go with distracted. That's all right. I'll give you, charitable assumption. I'll give you distracted. Yeah. I'm slowly making through my jar of Jolly Ranchers. And look at that. Look how clean that's coming off the paper so that it's not ghetto like someone called them. But it still doesn't mean it's ghetto. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. The imp- the implications were that I was ghetto because I had candy sticking to my wrapper. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, everyone's been dumping on me today. No, it was it's an expectation dump. Like, oh, Russ won't mind staying an extra 2 hours because yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, no, he's available. I'm like, Russ available? You didn't ask me. Yeah, so I had to work an extra 2 hours today at the theater because, well, we really need this. And I'm like, well, what if I had plans? What if I had dinner plans? Did you even think about asking rather than volunteering me? No, he's the doorman. He's available. Yeah, there is. Well, Broadway doorman, there is. Hmm. There is a theatrical workers union. So it's, yeah, no, but there's, well, but we're doorman on Broadway. So that's the difference. So all the ushers, all the ticket takers, front and box office people, and backstage doormen and security are all in the same union. Because if not, they would take advantage of us. Yeah, jazz hands. It's my jazz hands. Spread your fingers wide so people can see them. Yeah, and just shake your hands. Yep. Probably not. It could be very therapeutic, I think. Hmm. So Phil is asking, seriously, folks, how much money do you think it takes to open a brick and mortar store? Oh, absolutely. Well, see, but all of our employees are our friends, so we don't have to pay them. We don't have to pay them because they're all our friends. You don't have to pay friends. So Today is survey on the ATD. Yeah, we are. Oh, is there? Okay. Oh, that's cool. So, what kind of pencils? So when I was a college professor back in the day, um, we would get these book reps who would always try to come and get us to use their books for our classes. And because I was teaching the Introduction to Sociology course, I would get all these book reps that were, vying for my business because I had classes anywhere between 100 students to 500 in a single class. So I could sell a lot of books. Um, so I parlay that into, well, give me something. They give doctors kickbacks to, prescribe certain medicines and stuff like that. I want a kickback. So if you want my business, you have to give me something. So they one book rep uh, gave me pencils that I could use in class to give away as as a as an incentive to do well, yada yada yada. Well, we really weren't supposed to be receiving gifts anyway, but so I said, you know what? Let me design a pencil and I'll give pencils to my students because we had the Scantron tests, and of I got I got tired of students coming into class without pencils. So I said, well, I can use pencils in my class, and so I had them engraved, and I've give them out at the end of the term. And this is one of my pencils. They were all fluorescents, so this was like pinks and green neons and stuff like that. And they were all inscribed with, "I survived sociology with Dr. Russ." Yeah. So if you got an A in my course of any fashion, A minus, A, or A plus, you got 5 of them. If you finished my class, you got 1 of them. Yeah. Nick's here. Hey, Nick. We're designing your store right now. I'm in the. Mm-hmm. So, folks, do you prefer mechanical pencils with different size leads, or do you just like an old fashioned number 2 pencil? Yeah. So I would love to know. And then if you prefer the old fashioned pencil, do you like dull points or do you like sharp points? So that's what I would like to know. Yeah, I'm with you. Unless I need something. Um, Jennifer's here. She's actually on. She said, Jennifer, you missed everything. So, no. She asked, "Oh, okay, what did I miss?" I'm like, well, you missed everything. Oh, yeah. Um, so we have one vote for mechanical pencils. Of course, our engineer, Rhonda, likes mechanical. Yeah. Jim likes old school. Jim likes sharp. Erica likes number 2, sharp point. Lisa says she doesn't discriminate. She likes all pencils. Jennifer likes regular pencils. So Jennifer, since you like regular pencils, do you like them sharp or do you like them rounded or dull? There she goes. Nan says regular with a sharp point. Yeah. She said wonky. How do you spell wonky? Wonky? Like honky, but with the W? Cool. Cool. That was a genuine question. Um, Genuine question. Jennifer said she got a video of the guy with the Duncan socks. Um, Phil says, Nick, Allison already made up the name for your store. He used pens for everything. Grandma can't. Oh, his grandmother can't see pencils. I got that. PMWOJCIES. I'll give you a chance of pronouncing that. Has joined. Welcome. Okay, cool. Hey, Pauline. Welcome. Hey, Pauline, welcome. Nick says Blackwing Palomino, very sharp. I'm assuming that's a pencil brand. Jennifer says medium point. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. And then, of course, do you use the eraser on said pencil, or do you use an external? No, I always use external erasers. No, I use this pencil. I mean, this yeah. It's not a Japanese eraser, but it is a fancy eraser. No, no, no. I will say though, the Japanese have fantastic erasers. Just the novelty erasers, and there's regular erasers. Ashley says she can't use mechanical pencils because she presses too hard and constantly breaks the leads. Yeah, yeah. Giddy says she loves Blackwing pencils, very sharp. I don't even know what a Blackwing pencil is, so I'm going to have to look into that. Jennifer says she'll post the stock video to the chat later. Yeah. Lisa says external eraser, please. And Nick says, yeah, I'm with Nick. Bitten off. Do you really bite your erasers off your? Okay, I've never known that. This is the eraser that I use. Um, yeah, create a color. Yeah, I call it create a color. Uh, yeah. The nice thing about this is that it erases really cleanly, and all its leftovers. I don't. There has to be a name for all these leftovers, right? That's left on your page. I for Yeah, the eraser bits, um, shavings. Yep. Yeah. If anyone knows, I'd love to know what are all the little things left over when you erase. Um, the nice thing, because it's white, it doesn't leave marks on your paper, so you get a clean erasure, if that is a word. Yeah, erasure. Really? I couldn't name a single song from them if I had to. Oh well. There was another group. There was another group that you said one time, a long time ago, that I had to go look up. No, it wasn't that one. It was the one that we asked what genre was it. Um, yeah, they might be giants or something like that. Was that them? Was that? Yeah, I was gonna say 80s, right? I thought, but why don't you know? So whenever I'm doing any design work, what I do is I outline the area that I am going to be using on my graph paper. Elisa says, "Oh my gosh, erasure, so fun live." Lisa, Lisa is a live music aficionado. She loves to go to concerts. Yeah, yeah, No worries. Glad I've glad I could be of assistance. So what I do is I outline my area and my grid. Normally I would count, but I'm not counting today to make sure that we are all evenly. No, count is for people who like to be accurate. Oh, don't go with the masks. Oh, please. Yeah. Oh, math? Okay, good. I love math. I love math. No, I thought you said masks. I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah, good. Talk about your what? Oh, I thought you said peony. And I'm like, what? What has to do with peonies? No, my ears aren't working. Yeah, no, it's not you, it's me because I'm still half asleep. La 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 la. Ooh, doo. Yeah. Lisa said, "Did you ever go to the 9:30 club in DC?" Allison. Phil is uh, Phil is Phil is asking, do you know what happened on Zoom since you guys weren't on last night? No, I do not. Um, exactly. And then Phil says, my groans. I have no idea what that means. I don't mean no. Pocono Pam's here. Hey, Pam. Woo-oo. I know. She's such a busy lady. So, yeah. Absolutely. We can take whatever Pam time we can ever get. Oh, Pam, if you have any connections with, I know you do, Tim Holtz, um, I am in love and must have every single product associated with his new color that just came out. He came out with a, oh, absolutely. No, he's got this new distress oxide ink and oxide color called pumpkin fire campfire or something or another, but it's an orange and it's an orange red and it is amazing. um Jennifer said she had Pam time last night. Well, rub it in, why don't you, Jennifer? Oh my goodness, Jennifer. um yeah, Phil's grandma got on last night. Yeah. Yeah. uh Phil's grandmother got on last night. Yeah, Ruthie, we miss Ruthie. um So Jim, what did she tell Pam, Jenny, and Jim? What did she tell them? I could use it. I could use it. See, now everyone's just rubbing it in. Um, yeah, exactly. Jennifer says I had Pam time last night. Yeah. Phil says that they weren't good because they weren't watching politics like she was right on Zoom. I have. Uh, yeah, yeah. I was just like, yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Um, Pam is in agreement with me. She says, "Yes, love it. It's one of her favorite colors." I know it's. You should see this color. It is just so amazing. It's not like a bright orange. It's like a bright. It's like an orange red. So, oh yeah. Oh, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Oh, so Phil is correcting me. Phil is saying it. Ruth with an E. Allison is right. I don't know what that means, but right. I know, but that's why. But why are you right and I'm wrong? Because I said Ruthie. Okay, well there you go. So Jennifer says, laugh out loud. Phil, Jim, and Pam and Patty did Zoom. And he says, it was cray cray up there. Did we have Eddie time though? That's the more important question. Yeah, it is. It is weird. Yeah. Okay, so we are being corrected. It is Ruth and not Ruthie. So, well, I saw someone refer to her as Ruthie in a chat one time, so that's where I got it. Considering I've never been introduced to said grandmother, um, so so you know, so I think Phil is keeping me away from her, so I can't ask for her grandson's hand in marriage. I think that's what's going on. So I think that's why he's keeping me away from her. Yeah. Jim says his yeah. Jim says that his sky was gross today because all the smoke. Um, Nam says hers was too, i.e., the sky. It was so dark all day. Um, Jennifer says I was kayaking on the Hudson tonight for sunset. Amazing. So now she's rubbing it in. Uh, Jennifer, I'm just teasing. I'm just being. I'm sleep deprived at the moment. So yeah. Oh yeah. Um, Ashley says, and I concur, dear California friends, heart is breaking over the fires. Please stay safe. Absolutely. Yes, please say, yeah, yeah. Phil says that's so wrong. I don't know what he was referring to, but I think I might know what he's saying. Yeah, I think he doesn't like your cussing. I think maybe something else though. But anyway, yeah, I, exactly. That yeah. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Nance says, thanks. Actually, it is hard to breathe. I have a friend, yeah, that is having a difficult time because he's asthmatic. And it's just, he says, you can chew the air and it's just disgusting. Um, yeah. Um, Jen says, I was counting on your sass, Russ. Nan says, wish I was kayaking with Jen. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Pam says Russ has sassy pants on today. Well, not really because I'm not wearing any pants. But anyway, well, I'm designing our store. You know, I'm designing my section of the store, so I have to be dressed appropriately. No, he's in the other room. Sure. I had bacon and a BLT sandwich last night. Oh, poor Rhonda's had enough of us. She says too much information. But yeah, bye. I'm out of here. Uh, Nan says your sassy pants makes her smile. We can all use a little smile right now. Nick says I am so glad that she got here in time for all of this. Roger says, do you at least have your speedos on? I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah, yeah. Pam goes, no, pour my corn. Well, see, now that I'm demoing, my camera's turned down, so you'll never see and you'll never know what actually I'm wearing. Yeah, I'm joking, but corn was not part of my sandwich last night. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, um, yeah. I'm just I'm a little skittish about having a full on online presence right now, and I really have no reason to be. I mean, the guy's in jail at the moment, doesn't have access to any electronics, um, and so it's just I don't know if his friends are following along or what, if his friends have disowned him, kind of thing, because in the past he has employed his friends to be part of the harassment. So I just don't know if that's still out there, if they've learned their lesson. So it's just, but and Jennifer and I had a little part of this conversation privately. I was doing that NYC at 6 a.m. series and the Dr. Russ profile. And so, all that content is gone. I mean, I still have the pictures that I could recreate, but going through all my thousands of photos to find the ones, kind of thing, or just the year at the Met series, over 365 days of photos, from my trips to the Met, all that is gone in terms of content, and so I'm still a little smarting from that. Uh, but I do, and that's the one thing that most people have asked about are the postcard challenges, and I do miss them. I may rejuvenate them. What I did do in a while back was I did a summary of the 20 different challenges that we had. So I did like a mini summary listing what each of them were. So if people still wanted to participate in the old ones, they could. But it just it not pains my heart. That's not the word I wanted to use, but it still strikes a little to my heart when I still receive some postcards from the challenge. I'm still getting a couple of the Pantone ones in the mail, and so yeah, and it's just like it's just a little reminder of the good thing that we had every Friday, kind of thing. That won't be able to. Uh, I might be able to go back to them, but I would have to go through um, all of my videos to find them again. But yeah. Uh, oh, that may be a good idea. Yeah, then that's a no. That's a great idea. Let me think about that because yeah, yeah, and then only the people in the know would know what it was. Yeah, they would have no way of associating that with me if I never appeared on it. Right, right, right. Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. Let me ponder on that. Jim, we have a lot of yeah, I think that's a great idea. We have a couple of comments. Phil says Russ is designing a sex section in Nick's store. Now he's scared that what he started. Oh no, I didn't see that. Oh, okay, great. Um, Jen says is bacon or is bacon. She says I can't do the C thing. Hibernating. Yes, he's in the other room sleeping, but he's a teenager now, so that's all he does. Um, Jim says I miss the postcard challenges and the podcast. The interesting thing about the podcast is I really enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of work, but I got set up by a whole bunch of people that would set appointments to record, and then just never record. Yeah, and so I had three in a row that just backed out with no explanation, didn't answer their phones, and I'm just like, well, and so it just left, it was a difficult, I'm not Frank, Frank, does this, has been doing this so long, and he has such a different following, but it was a lot of work for very few people to listen. So the return on the investment in terms of time. So it was more of a vanity production, but I enjoyed doing it, and people seem to enjoy listening to it. So I may go back to it as well. Um, yeah, the station is still up, so you can still look at them on listen to them on wherever you receive your podcast, because it was done on Spotify. It was done on Spotify, and so I may go back to them, but it's another one of those things that I think once either I go back to nights at the theater, or when I'm not working at the theater, I'll look at it then. Because right now I work at the theater so long that I can only do certain sessions, and a lot of the people that I was trying to make appointments with didn't want to do weekends, which was the only time that I could be, cogent and work. You're like, well, we got family, and I go, I know, but it's just like I can't do a podcast when I get home at 7 o'clock at night, and I've got 2 hours to do it, because then I'm going to go do the throwdown. So I'd much rather spend the time with you folks to do the throwdown every night, Monday through Friday. Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, well, the investment of time is so much more gratifying, because I enjoy everyone's company here, but yeah, and I hope to think that everyone enjoys the two of our company. So, um, yeah, yeah, we got 13 people here. Um, Nan says that she misses the challenges as well. Jim says Jim has very graciously always agreed to do a podcast, and I think I talked with I think it was Carrie or Nick, one of the two, who was a budding philatelist, and didn't even know that they were philatelists. So yeah, I may, and if I do go back to it, those folks will be the very first guests on the show. Nick says she listened to every episode and loved it. Um, uh, yeah. Nan was just yeah. That was yeah. Nan was a great interview, and so but uh, yeah, yeah. It's Nan. I know. It's yeah. But yeah. So but we may get back to it. It's just I just need to figure out life a little bit, if that makes any sense. Yeah. It's just that and to and what's the word I'm looking for? Um, yeah, Nan collecting all the mail from the mailboxes. That's still one of my favorite stories. When she was little, and she went to all the mailboxes. Yeah, go, Nan. Yeah. But yeah, that's I'm still laughing about that. It makes me. Yeah, yeah. But it's so funny how one little thing like that can make your own memories flood. I had forgotten totally about uh, that bike episode when I was little. Um, and so, going down the hill and seeing my grandmother in the taxi. But yeah, that's not our little Hito, but yeah, it was. It was me. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I owe an apology to Jim, because I kept Jim at arm's length, because he was my emergency interview. So if ever I needed a quick interview, I knew that I could always call on Jim, because he had always agreed and always wanted to be on the episode. And then so I do apologize to Jim, but Jim, you'll be one of the very first guests that I have back when it goes back into production. It was great to know that I had you in my back pocket, so to speak, should I needed a quick story, a quick interview. Yeah, yeah, right. Which is why I thought it was really neat when Carrie asked about what everyone did, because that was the big secret. what is what does Allison actually do? You know, people know because you're still working. You're working from home, and you know you did all these business. You talked about all these business trips that you took, and did all. You know, you're always traveling and things like that. And you know, I get questions. Do you know what she actually does? And I'm like, no, it's never been important, never to have asked. And so yeah, yeah, but yeah. Carrie, thanks for doing that. I thought that was fun in the chat. Yeah, it was, and to know we have all these overachievers. I mean, I knew of some of them already. You know, Lisa is really is a rock star. If you don't really realize how how much in greatness we are, but between her and Pam, you know, just we really are very very fortunate to have all those people here with us each night. So, but yeah, could you imagine working for a trading card company? Yeah, 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 yeah. Nick says that's the part that she loved about the podcast is hearing the voices of the AT people. It was so fun. You know, yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They really have voices. They're just not. Yeah, they're not just typewritten. You know, messages across our screen, scrolling across our screen. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but so yeah, I and it's so funny because I've known Lisa and I've followed Lisa for such a long period of time, and it's one of those friendships that you know it's an online friendship. We have never physically met, even though we are in New York at the same time, and just train just subway trains away from each other. It's just that we've just followed each other and have supported each other. You know, I've watched her daughter grow up from, like I said the other day, um, just watching them play at a little kiddie pool behind their apartment. You know, they used to do these cookouts, and her husband used to cook, and Lisa, as I've said, is a great foodie. So I've always admired her her adventuresomeness in food, and so but yeah, but no, we first met. She sponsored a GoCo printing postcard exchange. Um, I don't know. It was I don't know how I followed her that way. Maybe it was like a group. Uh, so I don't know. Lisa, maybe you can jump in. I don't remember how you started that. Um, Lisa says those cookouts are the only time he cooked. Anushka is here. Welcome, Anushka. Welcome. Um, but but she hosted this exchange, this postcard exchange. And then she's the one that introduced me to SwapBot, and then we would exchange on SwapBot. But yeah, yeah, but she had a fantastic. That's what it was. Save the GoCo site. Um, uh, the GoCo, the technology for the GoCo, and all the supplies for the GoCo machine are disappearing. So you can't buy supplies anymore. So what a lot of us were exchanging things like, maybe I'll do a demo one Sunday, do a studio session, show you all that pertains to. It is, it is. That is definitely coming back on Sundays. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have a 5 minute warning, so just let you know. Yeah, I know. And so that's how I met Lisa. And so there was this site to where you can explain, you can exchange materials, and because it's all a Japanese based product, so you can only get the supplies in Japan or third party vendors here in the U.S. Um, so they require special paints, tubed paints, and special bulbs. You remember those old cameras that had those flash bulbs? Yeah. So that's the kind of bulb that you use to get the image um, charged to your screen. Uh, GoCo. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. I'll do that and show you how that. You know what I'll do? This is what I'll do. I will demo the making of my 2021 Chinese zodiac card. That's what I can do because it's about time for me to start doing those. Patty's here. Welcome, Patty. And since I already have, yes, yes. Well, Lisa says, and the machine is orange. Well, I have three machines. I have two of the green, two of the orange ones, which is the ones that do the postcard size, and then I have the mega one, which will do all the way up to like an 8 by 10. Yeah, so I do have, but yeah, so I'll do that as a studio session, and that's what I'll demo me actually. Yeah, Lisa said the same thing. Of course you do. Um, Demoing me making up. So you'll get a little insight into the card that many of you will receive next year. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I do because I have all, you know, me, I have all 12 images drawn out. So I spent about 2 months drawing out all these for the next 12 years. So, so I have them all drawn out. So it's just a matter of now just imprinting them, you know, making the screen and then just printing. So yeah, is is that a 69 on your page? EA, okay. I was gonna say I don't think English is the first language. Yeah, that seriously looks like a 69. Looks like a totally okay. It looks like a totally adult version. Maybe that should go into my adult section of our store. Now I'm just being ignorant. I'm being ignorant. I don't know what Rebel is. Is that a brand or is that what? Well, that's a big thing in Asia. No, it's just the letters. Yeah, they you walk around with people with these things on the shirts. I'm like, what does that mean? He says, oh no, it's just cool. All these letters together. I'm like, okay, yeah. This Lisa says Ado Rebel, ADO Rebel. Um, and Nick and Lisa said they thought the same thing. Um, Patty says she got some postcards today that did not originate in an English proficient country too. Yeah. Um, See now we have a group within a group. Now we have a whole group that are gonna section off called the Black Wing Ladies for Life. Yeah. Oh, we have our own schism here. Lisa is joining a group called the Black Wing Ladies, like the pencil brand. So all the people who have you know who are aficionados of Black Wing pencils are going to join together, and Lisa's calling them Black Wing Ladies for Life. Yes, yeah, it is a pencil brand. It's a subculture. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Like the Maple Leafs. I know absolutely nothing about hockey. I know nothing about hockey. Yeah, Nick says, yeah, we're a subculture. Yeah, that's a good sociology term.